All right, and what you see here is the Ninja Gaiden tier list. We've played every single fucking game in the series. And yeah, I know I'm recording this basically to make a YouTube video. I said the F word immediately. Well, who cares? But yeah, we played every single one. We just got done with our, like, what, how many times we beat NG2? I'm not even sure. But, I guess, yeah, we gotta rate them all. So, this, let's see. S, A, B, C, D. B is the standard. That is the standard, like, this is a game and it's playable and it's fun. Anything below B means that it's trash. So I don't want to do this thing where, like, all right, technically everything is an A rank or technically everything is an S rank. There's only going to be like 2 games in S rank probably, and then most of the games are going to be in A rank. I'm just putting it out there right now. But yeah. Music might be a tad loud. All right. Well, now it's not. All right. Music's not loud anymore. Okay. So first things first. We have Ninja Gaiden, the arcade game. You guys remember we played that? Do you guys remember? This is the footage. It's this game. Make your choice wisely or I'll break you in the I'll break in your shit and drop kick you. Yes, teacher, we remember. Obs and I played this together. It was pretty fun. It's like it's from the year 1988, so there's not a whole lot. I think for the time it does really well, though I think Double Dragon might have been a little bit better than it. It's got some extra like mechanics, like you can hang on like poles and rails to like kick your enemies in the face, which was pretty broken for later things. NG2 Triple S Plus, I don't know about that. But yeah, you basically play as Ryu Hayabusa in the blue, and then his dad, Ken or Joe Hayabusa. I don't know which one of his dads that is. But yeah, this guy, you beat up, it's a whole bunch of references, like you see like up here. That's, I think that's what's the Predator? A Predator reference. It's also got like music that kind of vaguely sounds like Ozzy Osbourne music. Who plays NG with you? Obs has beaten NGB on Master Ninja mode and NG Sigma. She's done it. She just didn't do it on stream, but I was there, I was witness. But yeah, it's not a bad game. I think this is our baseline B tier game. Because like it's fun and it's the beginning of a franchise, but it's also not super mechanically intense or like I don't know, actually. Okay. The reasons I'm giving right now. It gets repetitive. The gameplay loop isn't the greatest. There's not a whole lot of moves you can do other than the hanging moves with the kicks. Enemies can feel kind of spongy. So these are the bad things. The controls are a little clunky, but it's 1988. What can you expect, right? Visually, I think it looks fine. The graphics are good for 1988. Getting your toaster filling up the tube, Monka. But we did have fun playing it. It's short. It's extremely short. Its enemy variety is kind of lacking. You do refight some of the same bosses again. Goodbye, cruel world. Don't die, Leon. But yeah, I think this game it's a good start for the franchise. I do think that the console versions were better than this. There's a bunch of different ports of this game, by the way. This game's called Shadow Warriors when it's not in the arcade. But it shares the name Ninja Gaiden with the console games. I think we talked about it a little bit when we did play this because they wanted they were trying to start a franchise. They wanted it to be the same name. They were developed at the same time, the first NES game and this one. Anyway, so that's the arcade version. I would say it's between A and B. I would personally give it a B. It's a B. Ninja Gaiden Arcade / Shadow Warriors. It's a good game. So that's what I'm saying again. B means that it's still good. B is not bad. It's average. C and D is where your game will probably end up if it's not average or good. Ultimate of NG. NG4 sucks. It isn't like OG NG. You want it to be like the NG arcade? Yeah, exactly. Let's get to the games that matter. I mean, all these games. Okay, so the next one is Ninja Gaiden 1 NES. This is the game. This is probably my favorite NES game. We played this one. It's fucking hard. As you can see, I was on 6-2 for a long ass time. That stage is infamous because if you die to the bosses later, you just straight up, it's over. You gotta start over from the very beginning, like 6 stages back. Why is it hard? Because the enemy placement sucks. This is the first time I played it in a long time. As you can see, I'm not very good at it. I'm way better at this game now. But it's cool. It's an action platformer that is fast. You get different power-ups. You can like fire wheels right here. You're invincible when you use them. The name of the game is speed. You can't stop, no hesitation. So you just kind of have to memorize map layouts. Yeah, the guy shoots me off the cliff. NG1 is a classic. It is. It's really good. This was the first game to have cutscenes, dude. Well, not first game ever, but like it's one of the first games. It was Tecmo Theater, they called it. And it was really revolutionary, and it made a lot of people like really into the game and the story, and pissed people off more when they couldn't beat it because it was super hard and they just want to see how the story ends. This game is the reason why we even have NG in the first place. This is the true reason. It popularized Ninja Gaiden as a name. Bruce. Final boss Jackio, when you die to him, puts you all the way back to the beginning of the stage. Yeah. Where does that happen, actually? I don't know if you guys can even hear it. Can't even hear it. What the fuck? Why is there no sound? Okay, it gets really hard randomly, and there's no way to... Yeah. And then I jumped off the cliff. Brother. All the way back here? This and Castlevania 1 are action platformers. I argue both are better than the third installments too. But we'll get to that, yeah. PNG, man, this game fucking sucks. What a scrub. So damn, bro, used to have just Obs in his channel, in his chat, boss, and sometimes. 3 stages back? More than 3 stages back? Is the music too loud, by the way? But yeah, I was pissed. So, I might have a personal bias against this game. I think this game is S tier. It started the franchise. It did everything. Like, all of the references, the gameplay is all spawned off of and inspired by the 2D platforming of the first game. Music is fine? Okay. I think this game deserves its S tier. 100% faux show. You guys agree? Ninja Gaiden NES and Castlevania characters are drip as fuck. Yeah, they are. Giant fucking popped collars and... It's cool. Yeah. Ninja Gaiden 2. It's the same. It's the same gameplay. They add a bunch of different stuff though. But it's got a lot of stage gimmicks too. So this is Ninja Gaiden 2. As you can see, this stage has a darkness gimmick. It has more power-ups, I think, or like at least more useful power-ups. In Ninja Gaiden 1, you basically use Spin Slash or Inferno, and that's the most that you use. You can climb up walls in this one. The jumps feel a tad tiny bit floatier, but that's not something you'll really notice unless you play these games a lot. Yeah, and he knew the clone. Yeah, so you get knocked off the platform there. All the 3D games are top tier, all of them. Yeah. Yeah, I think all the 3D games are pretty top tier. The dark gimmick is super sick. Yeah. The only gimmick that I didn't like in this game was the ice gimmick. But it looks super cool here, and the music is really good too. Also, I didn't even show off the cutscenes for the first game, but as you can see, it's a real thing. Like these are basically what the cutscenes are, and we did our own voice acting too. But like Ryu's portrait's super sick here. It looks very anime, but very cool. Where's our voice acting? Whoops. Yeah, okay, we're back. But yeah. We voice acted all of the clips or all of the cutscenes, kind of. But like, yeah, this boss fight is fucking hard, by the way. Like, the difficulty, I would say, is much higher than the first game for the second game. But you get, like, I mean, of course, the continues. It's really generous. You can try as many times as you want. It's still really hard, though. I think when it comes to trying to play these games perfectly, I think this is the hardest one. Bro, acting like he's getting paid. You'll have to watch the VOD, lol. It's stupid. You wonder what the neighbors think of you after that screaming? Yeah. I know, right? I wonder if they can hear me, actually. That's one of the things I tested when I moved into my house, actually. I stood outside and I started... I had Obs scream inside the house to see if I could hear her, and I couldn't hear anything, so hopefully they can't hear me. But if they can, then they're not saying anything, then I guess no harm done, right? But yeah, no, I bitch and complain about these games a lot during my playthrough. I play the shit out of NG1 on NES, like pretty much like every day now. This game too. I don't play NG2 or NG3 as much though. Which, okay. This game is almost identical in terms of enjoyment for me from NES 1. But NES 2, to be consistent, maybe we should just put this in A tier, right? It's an A tier game, not quite as good as the first one, or do you think it's just as good as the first one? For me, it's just as good as the first one. And in some areas better. Yeah. Oh, these games are good, man. All right, fuck everything S tier. Well, Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2 are fucking awesome. And if you like NES games, then like these two are the standout, like definitely action platformers on the NES game. These are actually must-play games, along with like, you know, it stands up with Castlevania, it stands up with Super Mario Brothers, it stands up with a lot of other like, you know, action platformers. These two games are fucking good, almost perfect. Perfect for Ninja Gaiden. You think NG3 is an A? Yeah, that's the next one, right? NG3 is A. Okay. So again, it's the same gameplay. Aside, like they changed a lot of things though in the way it feels. I think most people are kind of split on this too. So the jumps are floatier. That's the most noticeable thing. Another thing is that weapons are more or less the same. Like you have the only new thing you have is the sword upgrade. What the fuck? Oh, am I rewinding it? I'm cheating in this game. Yeah, that's the other thing. Okay, the US version is way harder than the Japanese one. Damage is almost tripled in the US version over the Japanese one, and the continues are limited. You have 5 continues. If you lose all your lives 5 times, you start the entire game over. Right? That's the hardcore challenge. That is old school difficulty right there. I think one of the main reasons why a lot of people don't really care for it as much are probably the floaty jumps, and also there are multiple there's a lot of vertical sections and auto-scrollers, which, as you know me, I complain a lot about auto-scrolling in video games, especially in classic games. I fucking hate it. I hate waiting to do platforming. So the gameplay is not quite as tight, you know? It feels like you do a lot of waiting. Bosses are done better, though, I will say. Bosses are better in this game. Where is a boss? We'll just go to the last boss, right? Yeah. Bosses are done better. There's a lot more, like, they actually have attacks rather than just walking at you, you know? Or running into you. You have to avoid things. They are a lot of fun in this game. But I think as an overall experience, this game kind of like gets dragged down by the way like its platforming feels. Like Ryu's really floaty, and the auto scrollers, you know. And maybe the difficulty is a little too punishing, but it is a Ninja Gaiden game. What do you expect? Yeah, cutscenes return. I would say that this game gets a solid A. It's still a really fun action platformer, but it's not as good as the first two, you know? The real NES, the real NG3, yeah, it is the real NG3. Ninja Gaiden Trilogy. Do we have to look at Ninja Gaiden Trilogy? Where is that at? Where did I even play that at? Oh, it's here. It's basically a remake. It's a remake for the Super Nintendo. You can see the graphics look a little more crisp. It's got a different soundtrack too. I don't know if you guys can... Hold on, I need to pause the music for a second. Oh nope, wrong one. I just wanted... I forgot how much... So the sound effects are all completely different. Those are the only noticeable difference besides the graphics, or the sounds. And the loading too. It just snaps back and forth. There's some slowdown here and there, but it's like, it's still the same. Okay, they're pretty much the same game still. But yeah, the soundtrack doesn't hit quite the same. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know I really don't know what to say about this. This is the version that I played growing up, so I like it. Do I think that it's like perfect, amazing, cool? I think I'd rather play the NES games, if we're being completely honest. Could really have better graphics for SNES. Never really heard people talk about this version. Not a lot of people had it. It's really expensive to get your hands on too. I think it's worth like almost $200, just the cart alone. It's the version that I grew up with though, because it's the one I had this. I bought it for $15 from my from a pawn shop. But yeah, the version of NG3 on this version actually is the easier one, so you don't take as much damage and you have unlimited tries. So that's cool, I guess. So if you wanted the easier NG3, it's here. But you're right, it could have better graphics. Some of the parallax scrolling that was present in the NES version of 3 is not present here. You know? It's all static backgrounds. You can see... Where is it? It's one of the last stages. Here it is. You see how the background's really static? It just scrolls. It looks kind of weird, right? But yeah, they took out a lot of the cool effects. So in some ways, the NES version has better graphics. Did I play the Japanese version of 3? No, I played the US version when we were going through it. You like the NES UI health bars? To the trilogy? You like the rainbow effect? Like what? the epilepsy, like, you know, breakdown in the seizure because of the flashing lights effect? You like the Giga Green health bars? Yeah, I think that might be this version only, because they're blue in Ninja Gaiden 2. They're different colors across each game. But yeah, even here, the clouds are supposed to be scrolling, and I think it's supposed to be blue, but for some reason they changed the color and they made it static. So yeah, I mean, you get all 3 games in one, with updated visuals, you know, give or take. Music that is questionable at best. You guys want to hear the difference between the 4-2 song, the Ryu's theme, Unbreakable Determination? Hold on, let me find it. So this is the NES one. You know this one. Right? It's a certified classic. Good song. Alright. Now, here's that version of the song in Ninja Gaiden Trilogy. Oh wait, hold up. I need to find it. It didn't show up. Okay. Oh no, that's not it either! What the fuck? It's labeled wrong. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Cool, huh? It sounds like a Crash song? Like... Why? Why did they change it like this? Yeah, we upgraded the visuals. Crash Bash music, right? Dude, this song sucks! It's so ass. But yeah, all of that said, it's still the NES Ninja Gaidens. Bad music aside. NES top tier, yeah. Kid Hayabusa version, yeah. So this game, I think this game still gets an A. I'll put it, it'll probably be on the low end of A though, but it's still the NES games, so it gets an A. With Ninja Gaiden 3. But yeah. Resident Evil Director's Cut OST, it is! It is! Alright, Ninja Gaiden Shadow. The Game Boy game. We don't have to listen to this shit anymore. Shut up. Ninja Gaiden Shadow. Let me see if I can... Okay. It's for the Game Boy! And I know you guys really like super white backgrounds and non-green, you know? I know I should have played this with the basic green screen background, but whatever. I'm not gonna lie, this game's pretty tight. Actually, this game's pretty cool for being on the Game Boy. Yeah, Giga Green Game Boy is the way to play. Yeah, I mean, that's how I would have done it, but I didn't know how it would have looked for a viewing experience, you know? Because I can't, like, when it's kind of hard to see, especially if you have like low bitrate. Is that Toguro on the left? Yeah, it kind of does look like him, huh? It kind of does look like him. You love the sidebars you have? Those are cool. Yeah, we made them ourselves, actually. We'd use Photoshop to put these together. These are images from the in-game manual that came with it. But yeah, there's Toguro with his younger Toguro brother. This game's cool. I'm not gonna lie, like, it's actually really fun. It's got the same mechanics. It runs a little slower, and it looks a little more primitive, but you have your Inferno. The grappling hook is kind of cool, even though you don't really use it that much in the game. It's just more to get, like, maybe some secrets. It's an original game, yeah. It was made by the people who made, what's it called? Shadow of the Ninja. It was supposed to be a Shadow of the Ninja game, but I think Tecmo did something, and they just changed the name, and they changed the main character. But yeah, if you know what Shadow of the Ninja is, then, yeah, it's the same dev. But yeah, it's a good game. It's a good game. Yeah, it's also top tier, yeah. Did you ever play the remake? I didn't really care for the remake that much. There was some... I wonder if they fixed it since I played it. Because I know that at least, like, if you play as the Lady Ninja, her jump is not as good, and there's no trade-offs for her having a bad jump. But it's really hard too. But yeah, anyway. You haven't yet? You heard good things? Same devs as the original? Yeah. In the beginning, I didn't really care for it. Obs and I played it, we didn't beat it. It was just like, it was tough, but also, yeah, again, the girl character wasn't as good as the male character, which is weird. But yeah, it's a fun game. Yeah, you get a cool, like, slashing apart scene. I don't know. I think this game's also A. Yeah, grappling hook is really cool. Yeah. Shadow of the Sexist. Yeah. Yeah, we were confused by that. I don't know. We never uploaded that VOD actually, so it's kind of gone forever. The same grappling hook in NG4. They took it from this game. But you can see like even like cool little effects like the clouds like scrolling in the background. Something that even the Ninja Gaiden trilogy didn't have. And it uses music from the NES trilogy and some of its own original music too. But yeah, really impressive for Game Boy. Yeah, like I said, if I had a Game Boy growing up, I would have fucking lost my mind and played the shit out of this game if I had it. I did not have this game growing up though, but my mind would have been blown playing it. So NG4 really is OG? Yep, that's right. I think this game's A. It's really good. You had the crappy Castlevania game, you would have loved it too. Yeah. So yeah, as far as it shows, I think we're gonna see a lot of games in A. Because generally I'm a Ninja Gaiden fan. So this game, Ninja Gaiden X mobile, I showed you guys on stream. Sometime. I can't remember where I showed it to you. But maybe we did it when we did Ninja Gaiden Trilogy. Yeah, we did. Okay. It's a phone game. It's a mobile game. You can see the gameplay right here. I didn't play it. We watched a video on it. This is for those flip phones, you know, like the Motorola Razr and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just a phone game. I didn't play it, so it's really hard to rate. It looks like it might be an average game to maybe below average, because it doesn't look like it has the same function, or it doesn't function the same. But I mean, what can you expect? What, right? It's a fucking mobile game. That's C. All right. Next is the fucking Master System video game. You guys remember that? You guys remember Ninja Gaiden for the Master System? This game's fast as fuck. Look how fast those ninjas move, dude. No? You weren't here for this one? This game had me losing my mind. It's so fucked up. Like, how are you supposed to react to that? That's so fast. You just die. Rage baiting the NG mobile fans? Yeah, all two of them. Everything in this game is so ridiculously fast. The cool thing is that Ryu has extra animations and he can actually wall jump on in this game. It's pretty cool. Let's go to the next stage so we can see it. So yeah, you can see the wall jump animation is actually pretty cool. I don't understand the enemies in this. I can see, like, you know, the gangsters, but like, who are the paparazzi? There's the bird. This game's fun. I'll say this game's fun. It's not as polished as like NES is, but it's got its own charm, right? There's a lot of people that really like this game over the NES games. I personally prefer the NES games. What are those enemies, lol? They're the paparazzi! And they shoot flashes at you. Also, how are you supposed to know where to go there, you know? Like right here? But yeah, the wall jumps are cool. Is Cookers a grifter? Yeah. You and your mom is your childhood? You and your mom? Did you ever play it for real? The mobile game? Yeah, this game is giga fast. Yeah. It's super hard too. It also has unlimited continues, I think. But the birds, like, they hit you at blinding speed. Like, there's a lot of shit. If they hit you at the right angle, yeah, I'm just pretty much dead there. Oh, you didn't play it? Or the phone game, huh? So the story of this game is that you're trying to rescue a geisha, I think. You see her at the end. It's basically like Ninja Gaiden if Ryu Hayabusa was my OC and I made up a damsel in distress for him to rescue. So yeah, obviously it's not canon. It's not anything to the original story. People in the wiki try to consider it canon, but it's like, dude, let's be real here. Yeah, so what about that geisha? Look at how fast the fucking bird moves, dude. Like how... If he comes off of the screen, there's a part, actually. Yes, here it is. Right here, I think. Giga Blue graphics, Giga Blue, but graphics seem good for the Master System. Yeah, no, it's not bad. You can kill these logs, by the way. I don't know why. And then they stop spawning after you kill them. This is turbo mode, jeez. And the knife gauges. The knife geishas? Huh? Monka? But there's a part here. Like, do you see an enemy just drops down from the ceiling there? Okay. It's this part. Bird just hits you from off screen. I scroll the screen up. Watch this shit. Bird. I get knocked back down. You couldn't even see the bird, right? Like, what the fuck is hitting me? You just like NG, or just like NG2? Yeah. The guys from Streets of Rage. Oh yeah, the knife. Do you see how fast these birds fucking move, dude? And yeah, this shit had me going nuts. Like, why? Your eyes too? Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. This game's not as polished. Yeah, you can do screen clears too. You can blow up the whole screen in order to kill every enemy. Yeah. But anyway, how to hypnotize yourself. What was the final boss of this bullshit? It was a long game too. Oh yeah, there's Ryu with the geisha. Yeah, that's her. You rescue her. She never shows up again. This is the final boss. You fight Giga Satan with this Giga... I don't know what those things are. Yeah. Recommending this game to my friend with epilepsy? Is that the only game with a bomb mechanic like that? Yeah, it is. And I think they did it because they know that some of it was pretty fucked up in some parts. But yeah, that's Ninja Gaiden Master System. It's really unhinged and really crazy. It's a good game still, but I think it's a B. I think it goes above. It goes above. Do we want to? Does it matter what order these go in each tier list or in each tier? It really doesn't. They're in B or A or S or whatever. It doesn't matter the order. But yeah, Master System. It's a B. D tier? Are you a shill? It's fun. Honestly, it's fun. It really is. And it really is. You gotta try it if you want to. Does Tecmo pay you? Dude, I don't even think Tecmo made this game. We're not at the Zoomer NG2 yet. Yeah. So, the next one is for the Game Gear. This game sucks. This game's fucking booty, McAss. This is what it looks like. This game actually sucks. It's Ninja Gaiden. The animations don't look as good. Ryu's got his little like tippy toe run. He runs like a ninja at least, right? But yeah, this is nowhere near the quality of the Game Boy game, which is also the other handheld. Are you salaried? This is the one with Ryu always running sprite? Yeah, this is the one where you die instantly if you touch the boss for more than like a second. This looks mega shitty. It is shitty. We beat it though. The mechanics are there. You can throw shuriken. It's the same thing. It just isn't done. It is not executed well at all. Also, like a lot of the Ninja Gaiden spin-off 2D titles had this really traditional Japanese, like, you know, bamboo forest, shrine setting. But yeah, here you fight. I don't know what the fuck this thing is supposed to be. It looks like just a red Oni. I can't do damage to him, so I have to get close to him. You have to wait for him to lift his club, I guess. Running like a gazelle. Yeah, that's how I would describe it, actually. This the unreleased one, or is that Genesis? That's Genesis. This one actually did come out, but I think it only came out in... I don't think it was a North American release. Here, I'll show you the final boss at least. Final boss! It's the Jaquio again! But yeah, you only have the middle platform to really, like... It's not really that engaging. Yeah. And there's no cutscenes, I don't think, at the end of it. Oh yeah, and the true final boss? Yeah, very cool. Oh yeah, there is a cutscene. Yeah. So they did do cutscenes. It doesn't look like Ryu though, but I guess it's supposed to be. But maybe they just took the Ninja Gaiden name, like, you know, literally. Yeah. Cool. This game, it didn't feel good to play. You guys watched me do it. This game is actually D tier. It's a bad game. But that's okay. That's okay, because we still got all these. Ninja Gaiden 1? Ninja Gaiden 1. Wait, hold up. We're done with the 2D titles? Are we really? I feel like there should be more. Are we missing anything? The Genesis one isn't here? Oh, man. Okay. Well, I'll show you the Genesis one. This is the Genesis one. Ragebound? Yeah, Ragebound's there. Goosey! What's up, Goosey? But yeah, as you can see, it's unfinished. I don't know how harsh I'm allowed to be on this game because it's obviously an unfinished game. It's an homage. It's basically a sequel to the arcade game. You can do rolls. You can do a guillotine throw in this game, as far as I know. I don't know what the fuck. It's supposed to be like a special kick you can do. It's like a somersault kick. The graphics look nice. Yeah, here they look nice. Later they get rough. He's dark skinned in this game. Look at him. Yeah, yeah. It's basically a different Ryu for everything. Yeah. Let's see if you can handle me. I think he gets his ass kicked. Everything's super basic. This game's giga easy. There's some parts of it, being a dev build of the game, you can't actually progress because they didn't finish parts. You have to skip the level. He race shifted. It's a superpower. You think it's a C? Don't feel it's finished, so you can't really be harsh on it. Yeah, that's what I wanted to put it in D, but it's not as bad as like here. This does not look that great. Oh yeah, and there's glitches. Like you can throw the sumo wrestler off the cliff, but since I didn't technically kill him and he didn't despawn, I get soft locked. So yeah, he falls off, and now you can't progress. You're stuck. End tier not finished, and you can see I can walk into the background too. So yeah, obviously it's not finished. That bridge and reflection were super cool, but yeah, this mountain stuff does not look good. No, it gets pretty rough. I mean, this doesn't look so bad, but like it's really basic and flat. And also, these are just like palette swap ninjas of your character to fight you. They also can't really do any damage to you. More bamboo. I got stuck here. I was waiting for the timer to run out so that way I can finish, so I can move on, or like, you know, maybe I could redo the level or something. Probably because no one goes outside anymore. time out, and I die. And then it puts me back. Anyway, there's cutscenes in this game too. Ryu is not even part of like the Hayabusa clan in this game. He's part of some weird clan called the Huma. Makes no sense. I'll show you the final boss though. Yeah, and there's your girlfriend. I forget her name, but she I don't know what kind of outfit that is. It's not a ninja outfit. You're outside all the time, and yeah, that's the final boss. Look at it's cool. I get. He doesn't look that bad actually. Like Vincent said in the stream, he looks like a Digimon. Were you cheating on Irene? Yeah, these are all the different Ninja Gaiden continuities. We need a Ninja Gaiden multiverse, dude. I'm gonna be harsh on this game. It was giga boring. I don't know if it would have been good, but it has to go on bottom tier for not being finished. We can be harsh on it. Fuck it. NGCU, yeah. But yeah, you basically do this forever until he dies. And then that's the end. Evil crumbles to dust. Before us, a promise of good things to come. There you go. And that was the end of Ninja Gaiden Genesis. Maybe it's appropriate that we don't have it to rate it, because it's just not a finished game. Ken Hayabusa will return. You might be right about that. And then he'll wonder, where's my husband, Joe Hayabusa? Anyway. Motherfucking Ninja Gaiden 1. This game is the father of 3D Ninja Gaiden, literally. But even this game takes inspiration from the NES ones. Ninja Gaiden NGO4? Yeah, I mean, that's what we in the community call it. Nobody knows this game exists anymore except for us. But this is the non-updated version. It's really fucking good. It's really fucking good. Basically, Ninja Gaiden made the jump to 3D, and they did it in the most elegant... Ignore the water effects here. That's a bug from the emulator. It looks better normally, I promise. Dude, it's so fucking good. It opts for a Metroidvania-esque like level design, so you're running around, but it's like it's still linear enough so you don't get lost. Oh yeah, this is NGO4, has the flashes for like the Izuna drops and the kicks. Oh! But yeah, multiple different weapons, lots of different enemy types, all feel different to fight. Feels pretty good, man. Fighting game mechanics. You can definitely tell that Itagaki is the director and his team made Dead or Alive, because that shit shines through this game too. This is basically Dead or Alive, but in a 3D action game format. It's even got punch. It's even got 2 attack buttons, dude. 2 attack buttons. And then, you know, it doesn't have a hold button, but it has a shuriken projectile button. You got lost when playing NGB for the first time? The maps did come in handy. Yeah. Yeah, no one complained about this game except for its difficulty. They just said it was really fucking hard, and they accepted that. And they accepted that it was really hard. Also, the graphics for the time were ahead. They were ahead. I'm sure you'll get into it and you can answer this later, but if Black was not so refined and fixed a lot of things from before, do you think it would have the staying power it has? Like if they took, you're saying if they took Ninja Gaiden Black and they ruined it compared to this game? I think it probably wouldn't have had the staying power, probably. I think people would still just refer back to this game then, over Black. We kind of see that with NG Vanilla and NG2 Vanilla and Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2. You never use the maps? Yeah, I don't really use the maps either. But yeah. If Black did not come out, we'd still... I mean, I think people would still like this game. We still have the Hurricane packs. But if it was just this game by itself, it's still a good game. And it still has a lot of things you can do in it, you know? The gameplay has enough variety. But even by itself, playing this game again, I was just like, man, this game's fucking fun. Yeah. Do I think that this game deserves its S tier? That's really hard, man, because I like Ninja Gaiden Black more, but if you boil it down to just normal mode, it almost is the same game. Sorry, I worded weird. I think adding the difficulties, rebalancing the mission mode, and I think really adds to staying power. You'd be curious of other people's answers. Yeah, A. I was thinking A. Originally, before I did this tier list, I was thinking that this would probably be an A tier game. But it's only because Black really invalidates this game. It does. And I know you can argue that it had, like, this NGO4 has different mechanics with its, like, hurricane packs and whatnot. But if you are trying to get someone into the franchise, you're going to tell them to play Ninja Gaiden Black over this game. Then Black and S? Yeah, that's what I'd say too. Unfortunately, I don't really have footage of Black because we still haven't played it on the stream. But yeah, this game's legendary, dude. Everyone still talks about this game. Even, like, non-fans still talk about this game. We got fucking boomers who are like, I remember Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox. It was super fucking hard. Everyone's played this game. At least that was around in gaming during the time. And, like, you know, whether it be, like, on a friend's Xbox or anything. We didn't? No. Unless it's too brown, then you can go back. But yeah, it's a good game. Comfortable in the A tier. Comfortable in the A tier. Do I even have footage of Ninja Gaiden Black? I mean, it's pretty much the same footage, but it's got, like, Ninja Gaiden Black adds all of the extra enemies. Let's see here. Did I ever play... Why does NGB not have New Game Plus? Because all of the difficulties are balanced around a new game. It's not balanced around having endgame weapons for New Game Plus. Basically, if you take your maxed out weapons into a new game through the mod, you'll one-shot everything. Like, they'll take interest or tax it. Shut up. Okay. I don't know if I have... Yeah, I don't have footage. Not my own footage, anyway. Op said for me to use speedrun footage. I mean, it'll look like normal game footage. If you... This is basically me speedrunning the game. But it is normal game footage. But it adds, like, so NGB's, like, its whole draw is that it takes the hurricane packs and rebalances them and then adds them into the main game and gives you, I think, 3 extra costumes? No, 2. Along with the DOA throwback, which was a costume you could earn in the hurricane packs. Maybe not one-shot powerful, but powerful? No, it's, like, you can literally one-shot Mirai with low health UF. If you do New Game Plus and NGB. Same with, like, Dynamo, pretty much. Pretty much every boss you can one-shot with the low health UF. Up until Pazu or something like that. Or, yeah. Have I played the Hurricane packs with Intercept? No, I haven't, actually. But yeah, I'm normally a speedrunner for this game. But yeah, it also added mission mode, which was also part of the Hurricane packs, but, like, you know, it basically, NGB is the complete package. Each difficulty has its own enemy, it has its own mix of enemies. All of the items are remixed. All of the Scarab rewards are remixed. Even bosses have, like, their own sets of minions, you know, depending on the difficulty. Some attacks change, like Emperor 1's laser attacks are faster in the lower or in the higher difficulties. But you want to use the true dragon sword? Yeah. I mean, I'm biased. I like playing this game through on a fresh save. I like mapping out the run. It's pretty fun. New Game Plus, if it was balanced, it would have been fun. Yeah. I think NGB is comfortably an S tier game. And I don't think anybody in the history of anything ever will ever argue about that. Ever. S tier NGB. S tier NGB. It's my personal favorite. Good ass game. Ninja Gaiden Sigma. Do we think Ninja Gaiden Sigma goes with Black? I honestly think that Ninja Gaiden Sigma is pretty good. Sigma is A, so you're saying it's just as good as Ninja Gaiden 04? How do you come to terms with the fact Itagaki made your favorite game? I don't. I say that Rachel makes it a C, make it ordered and put in front of it. Put in front of it. Alright, so everything's ordered right now then. If that's true, then the Master System game goes here, in front. Okay. Sigma. Sigmata. Where's Sigma at? Sigma was later down the line. Alright, here we go. Sigma basically is just the PS port of this game. It adds the dual swords, it updates the graphics, which, you know, the graphics actually do look pretty good. It looks nice, I think. They change a lot. They don't change, well, they don't change a gigaton. It's enough for like high-level players to recognize. It keeps the difficulty balancing from Black, and you have most of the missions, maybe a little bit more missions from Black. It adds the Rachel chapters, which most people will agree Rachel chapters kind of stink. Sigma is no good. Itagaki, yeah, he said it was no good. We played this on normal when we were playing through it. What else did they change? You can do in-air bow shot, but that's not really a huge change. There were some balancing adjustments. Enemies no longer they're not as evasive or as defensive as they are in Black, which it depends on who you ask if you like or not, you know? They're more aggressive though in Sigma. You much prefer Black? Yeah, I like Black as well. It's just because it's more streamlined and better paced. A lot of the extra stuff that they tried to add in Sigma kind of slows the game down, which, you know, things like not being able to glitch out the horses with the Nimpo to kill them instantly, you know? That kind of slows it down because we all know that horses suck. Rachel slows it down a lot. The extra Dynamo boss isn't really that cool, you know? It's just the same guy again, except this time he has one new attack. They streamlined some of the puzzles. Yeah, they got rid of some of the puzzles. They tried to make the water combat like a thing in this and try to make it more enjoyable, but honestly, it just makes the water chapter a little slower to go through. When in both versions, you just want to get it over with as fast as possible. You like the adventure elements they removed in Dual Swords or OP? There's a lot of little things, but the extra missions and quick menu for healing is cool. Yeah, the quick menu for healing was cool. Yeah, and the extra missions are not bad. Except for Unearth Challenge 4, fuck that one. I think it's still good, but yeah, you guys might be right. It might be A tier. It's a good looking game though. You gotta admit, it's a good looking game. Oh yeah, we played survival mode. Dude, that's the other thing. Survival mode is sick in this game too. It's a lot of fun. Hayashi Inji is like a communist Gaiden dude, removed as many options as possible. He was just trying to make the game more accessible for people, but he had no idea what exactly people liked about it. You know? It's just like when he made NG3. He thought people wanted a strong story because people complained about the story. It's just that sometimes you just can't listen to the masses. You know? Just make the game that you know is good. You don't have to change something that is good already. Unless you're trying to fix it, you know? But in this case, there was nothing to fix. Hashi literally doesn't know shit. Apparently, he knows a lot of shit when it comes to making original games, which is why Neo 1 and 2 came out so good. But yeah, he had no idea what Ninja Gaiden was about. You might put it in low S. Never mind highest A. The story of NG3 is shit even after he focused on it more. Which is funny because The guy who wrote Ninja Gaiden 3 story was the same guy who did Ninja Gaiden 2 story. But it just didn't come out as good. Anyway, yeah, this is the highest tier A game. Highest tier A game, on account of it being Ninja Gaiden 1, you know, or an offshoot of Ninja Gaiden Black. Anyway, Sigma Plus, it's the same game. It's just, it's 30 FPS Ninja Gaiden Sigma. That's it. Nothing else. You don't need, like, I would have to find footage of it. I know some hardcore players say that mechanics are different and karma works different, but that's not enough for it to be considered different. For most people, I think, and for myself. You think it's an extremely impressive handheld game? I think so too. I think so too. And honestly, Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus was the first game that I actually tried to 100%. That's my first time playing Master Ninja mode. Anything was through the Vita. It was the reason why I even bought a PlayStation Vita. It's because I wanted to play Ninja Gaiden again. And we're here now because of it. It gets sentimental value. It plays and looks almost perfect. Yeah. Its only downside is the 30 FPS. That's it. And then it gets slowed down. It has slowdown in some areas. But other than that, it is a perfectly fine port of Ninja Gaiden Sigma. And it adds all of the extra equipment and gear that we see for the Master Collection version. Sigma Vita, are you sure about that? Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword. Well, we're kind of just plowing through this, huh? Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword. Oh man. This game is an impressive handheld port. It's got one weapon. Oh my god, it's got one weapon. That means it's D tier. No, I'm just kidding. No, this game, it's pretty fucking good. Like, I am extremely impressed with this game. It's got all the mechanics, man. Hayashi made this game. Did you know that? Hayashi made this game? But it's good. Sickest Nimpos. Yeah, the Meteor Dart or the Meteor Void Nimpo, that's cool. That's why I was like, you know, the Black Hole Kamehameha is cool in NG2, but man, is it meteors with columns of piercing light? That's cool. This is the original NG2. Yeah, this is technically this is Ninja Gaiden 2. It's a sequel to Ninja Gaiden 04. The story takes place right after that, and we meet Momiji through this game. But yeah, it's got Izuna drops. You got projectile arrows. You got UTs. You can't head stomp, but you got you can guard reset. It's like, it's cool, and it's got all the enemy types. All, like, every enemy type, even NG2 like, I'd say that this game has the most bloated cast of Ninja Gaiden enemies, which is kind of crazy, you know? Because it's even got werewolves and cats together, as well as Resetsu makes an appearance. Yeah. Yeah, werewolves too, yeah. And you can Izuna drop the werewolves. But yeah, this game was a lot of fun. Its boss fights are a lot of fun too. Yeah, and this is how you cast Nimpo. You draw. I mean, it's a DS game. It's a fucking DS game, dude. Can you believe that? You think NGDS is an S? You have lots of cool stuff, creative, big variety of Nimpos, less powerful console, and yet still manages to be a peak NG game. Yeah, it could be. It's kind of, that's hard though. That's really hard to, you can see my mouse cursor like playing the game. Yeah, it's kind of hard to rate this one because of how we've rated the other ones already. We have to consider it in comparison to the other games. Do we think this game is better than NG04 and Ninja Gaiden Sigma? It also shows us the Dark Dragon, yeah, which is weird because it gets retconned because the Dark Dragon is a different, looks different now in NG4. No, yeah, I still think it sits comfortably next to them though. No, because it's NG1. Yeah, we're basically at a point now, low A. I don't know if it's low A, but I think it's better. I personally like it more than NES 3 and Trilogy, but Like, yeah, this game, you control it with a stylus, essentially. I think this goes here. Right next to them. But now we're at the point too, since we put since this is where NGO4 is, like S tier is being gate kept by these games. Anything that makes it past this has to be a really fucking good game. Trilogy on high B, I think personally I gave Trilogy its A status because it still has Ninja Gaiden 1 NES and Ninja Gaiden 2 NES. That's why. It's not S tier because of that, but the music changes and the graphics changes is what puts it down to A for me. But it's still good though, it has the same gameplay. It's almost at the level of NG1B Sigma, so yeah, that's why I put it there. NG2, oh shit. Oh fuck, we're an NG2. NG2 top of A, okay. Contrary to popular belief, I like NG2. I talk a lot of shit, but honestly, my shit talking comes from a lot of the discourse surrounding this game. And that's mainly because this game has caused a civil war in the NG fan base between people who are NG2 fans and people who are Ninja Gaiden fans in general. Like, people who are excited for this game, basically, like, they just keep going at each other, right? So yeah. I picked a side, homie! But Ninja Gaiden 2 does a lot of good things. We have footage, and we just played it today. And people who don't accept new stuff? Yeah. We gotta get footage of, like, ninjas. Let's see if I can find it. Well, nothing. We'll just start it here. So yeah, dogs. Okay, Ninja Gaiden 2. What do we know about Ninja Gaiden 2? I'm trying to think, how am I supposed to, like, how do I clear my thoughts on this? Anything less than S is disrespectful. But dude, okay, first off, look at what's happening here on screen right now. It's a minor thing, I know. It's super minor, but stuff like this happens throughout the entire playthrough. And in some in some parts, it will soft lock you from making progress if it happens. And it's not an uncommon thing, it's a super common thing. So it's no secret that this game isn't polished, right? It's basically, it's a good ass action game, and it stands on its mechanics really hard, and like, that's intended, yeah. But its mechanics are so good that it basically elevates its status super high. Oh yeah, we're playing on the emulator so it has some graphical stuff. Above DS, before Vita. We know it's chaotic, non-stop action. That's what it's praised for. It's unpolished and unfinished, and it's a good game. It's a peak mess. That's how I'd put this game. Yeah, so like, you guys know the term kusoge, right? Like, shit game in Japanese. It's not meant as an insult. It's basically like you would say Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is kusoge, or like, you know, Guilty Gear plus R. Like those kinds of games. It's so broken, it's good. It's the charm. It's part of the experience. And we've seen what they've done later to make the game more streamlined, to like basically appeal to like more people and fix the problems. But when you fix the problems of this game, it's no longer the same game. That's where the problem is. Most people, MVC2 is kusoge, yeah. People who don't like NG2, it's a skill issue on their part. Yeah. This game goes crazy. There's a lot of shit in this game that will fuck you up super fast. But when you boil it down to single, like, you know, even just 2 or 3 enemies, it's super easy. Like, it beats you down with numbers super hard. It's unforgiving. It's just like everything's fucking nuts. You wanna fight, like, you know, like here's this cool new enemy type. It's a claw ninja, whatever. You fight 2 of them in the beginning, and then it's like, all right, now here's 15 of them at once. Good luck, motherfucker. And then here are mages too to help them. Like, it does shit like that. And then it'll spawn like 15 enemies at you at a single time. After you kill them, it spawns 1 enemy at a time. And you fight 1 enemy at a time until you kill like 15 of those guys. You know? It like, nothing really makes sense in this. It just does whatever it wants. And I think that's like, it's something you really have to respect, the commitment to the way it is. You know? But I mean, I'm sure that you guys already know. Based, like, out of all of the complaining and bitching I've had about this game, man, look at those texts. The text just overlaps each other on the chat, huh? Looks funny. But like you were saying yesterday, Sigma started these weird spawns. Wait, where does... that happens in Sigma? Where does it happen in Sigma? I'm trying to remember. Most of the time, if I'm remembering, I'm remembering that most of the time enemies just, they have like a set amount of like spawns. After you kill one spawns in to replace it immediately. But I don't think there's very many instances where just one guy just comes out after the rest are dead. Unless you're counting the Fiend challenge. In which case, since it's 2 different enemy types, there's literally no more enemies to spawn. Do the archive challenge? Oh, the archive challenge? Yeah, so in that case, there's no more enemies to pull from the reserve, right? So it is just gonna spawn whatever's left. But I think that's just the one case. In Black, they balance it out. I see. But yeah, I don't think that happens in any of the other challenges. I think that's just a weird thing just because of the 2 enemy types. If you kill too many cats, you get ninjas and vice versa. Yeah, I remember that. It does... no, it doesn't happen in Black. Yeah, you're right. They replenish immediately. But yeah, I think that's just the one time in Sigma. But in this game, it's like almost every encounter. Almost every encounter. Not, well, maybe not almost every encounter. Most encounters where you fight enemies in like a non-arena, it'll do that. You don't notice much in Sigma because the encounters are shorter compared to 2. Yeah. And everything will be quiet suddenly. Look at these fucking explosions! This is Ninja Gaiden 2. It's great. But yeah, the combat mechanics are all there. Like, honestly, Ryu feels the most fun to control in Ninja Gaiden 2, and every version of Ninja Gaiden 2. Ninja Gaiden Michael Bay, yeah. But yeah, Ninja Gaiden 2 is a good game. Is it better than Ninja Gaiden NGO4? Does it reach the same heights? I think graphically it doesn't. But that's mainly because where we were at in the 360 life cycle, you know? How do you feel about the way you have to play on Master Ninja, or at least how you're expected to? You get tired seeing UT, OT animations over and over to avoid certain weapons or use items, UTs, because of it? So, I've mentioned this before. I don't like how the enemy AI is done in this game. I still have fun playing this game, but that is a good point to bring up. I don't like that you can boil down a lot of encounters to just doing the same thing over and over again. And especially since the enemies don't have a lot of self-preservation. They'll dodge sometimes, but most of the time they'll just get hit. And they don't try to... The OTs are fine, but UTs get repetitive, yeah. You don't have to play with UTs, but, like, you know, with as many enemies as there are, engagements can last a really fucking long time. We're talking, like, up to 5 to 10 minutes per fight, which is kind of insane if you think about it. You know? It kind of... Because, like, that's one thing... Man, I'm going full criticism mode. Okay. This game has mechanics to where you can quickly finish off enemies, right? So you quickly finish off an enemy. So it's like, all right, so cool. You would use that to like, you know, carry momentum in order to go to the next encounter, right? You know, rewards you for being really good at knowing the enemies and the mechanics. No, actually, because you have so many enemies to kill in that same exact way that it's literally 30 to 50 enemies per encounter almost. UTs are just too dumb, yeah. It's more of a mechanics issue than an AI issue. No, I kind of think it's an AI issue because at least in 2 Black, when enemies do dodge more, you do notice it. Enemies feel a little tougher to actually take down, not just because of the bloated health, but because like, man, this fucking Claw Ninja dodged me like 6 times in a row, you know? It's definitely not on the same level as like an NGB, where you can't just open up like, say, like a white crab fiend for free. He'll definitely void you. Every opening attack he'll dodge. And ninjas can randomly dodge you, and they will. Most enemies will play defense or block. They don't dodge UTs much though. Yeah, no, they don't. They definitely don't. You get UTs on everything for free in every version of the game. You want to fight endless ninjas for 15 minutes straight? Yeah, yeah. But that's cool for like survival mode, right? You know what you're getting into. Which survival is really sick in NG2. Even though it costs like, what, like, how much is it? $15? It's a shame it sucks NGB also doubled down with UTs and didn't want to balance it. Yeah. At least in NGB you can't charge one for free. You actually have to kill an enemy before you actually start a UT chain. So at least there's that. I think that would have been good for this game actually. If they would have made UTs charge really slow and then rebalanced the way that the enemies like they structure their encounters better, you know? But then again, you wouldn't, if that's what they try to do for Sigma 2 and 2 Black. And it just wasn't the same game, you know? The enemies make you feel like you need the most iframes in order to get anything done. That's the name of the game, though. That's the way it is. NG2 is the iframe game. You need to know your moves and your movesets and what properties your moves have. Don't just do XY, do forward XY so you can avoid the IS that would normally, you know, interrupt you before you could get your combo out. You've only ever bought Sigma games from the Master Collection? You're new, but is there anything like the Samurai from NGB into in terms of armor, and there's an answer to it with smoke bombs or the Red Ninja? I don't think so. I don't think anything actively blocks other than, do Gajas block? I know they block sometimes. But yeah, there are no defensive enemies in this game as far as I know. Everything's super squishy, like glass cannon enemies. But that's part of like what makes this game fun, right? It's just the constant aggression. Like you're constantly rewarded for pressing buttons. It's the instant like gratification. Like, you know, I'm gonna press X on this guy. All right, he lost an arm. OT, that's my gratification. Dead guy. Thing is, the way enemies work in Black, it leads players into playing reactive, and they wanted a player to be more proactive into. Yeah. Yeah. And at the end of the day, that is more of a subjective thing because I enjoy the reactive gameplay a little bit more, you know? But that's why I get fucked up in this game so much, because I play reactive still. Because it's still rewarding to just press buttons in this game. Yeah, the gratification is what makes you like 2 and why you don't like Sigma 2. Yeah. And I think Sigma 2 is a fine game, I just think it gets kind of boring, right? Because the enemies, they're still the same enemies. They still have the same AI for the most part. They're just tankier. I think Black kind of fixes that a little bit by making them at least have more defensive maneuvers. But yeah. But like, I do kind of like the extra health because then I have to remember I can't Izuna drop this guy yet because his health is still too high. You know, stuff like that. I have to remember how much damage I've done to each enemy. Lack of defensive enemies was a bit of a culture shock after playing NGB the first time. You're getting bored forward Ying everything on warrior difficulty. Yeah, when you play warrior difficulty and Acolyte, the game does feel a little boring and repetitive because then you could just XXY and then do OT for every enemy in the game. This game's best balanced on its hardest difficulty, and that's where it actually really is hard. Other than that, like, it's really easy. And I'd say probably that's every version of 2. It doesn't, if you just play the game to play the game, you'll probably like 2 more because it's way easier. Any version of it. You get punished really hard for just pressing buttons in the first game. Flying Swallow is giga powerful in NG2. Yeah, especially since you can do it like 3 or 4 times in a row. Cancel it into bow shot or shuriken. You know? NG Warrior 2 on NG2 is basically a tutorial. It kind of is. But yeah, this game is still really fun. I mean, the dismemberment mechanic is the best thing that they could have done for the franchise. They just needed to balance it better, that's all. I really like the OTs. I really like the Ninpo. The Ninpos function really well as compared to the first game where they kind of were just a breather. In this game, they really do fuck everything up around you, and they're powerful, but then you still have like 1,200 dickheads to fight after you kill 7 of them, you know? Am I gonna do Sigma 2 and NG2 Brown with mods on the tier list? No, I don't think that's really fair. But if we're being real, I think my favorite way to play NG2 is Sigma 2 Black mod. It fixes a lot of the problems I have with OG2, which is just getting stunned out of everything when you're on ground combos, you know? That's the main thing. And it makes it more balanced, ironically. All the other mechanics are there. I mean, who doesn't love all those bodies and blood on the bridge while you're fighting? It's so damn cool. It's hard not to like NG2. It's really amazing evolution of NGB's combat. Yeah. And at the same time, it really does function as its own game. Like, again, there is none of the other Ninja Gaiden games play like this vanilla too. Like like when you see, I really just ran forward and just wanted to spawn all the enemies, huh? The stairs alone make this S, yeah. But yeah, that's still a lot of fun, and it looks cool as fuck. The weapon, dude, even like the weapon movesets in this game are so good. So good. Actually an improvement, you know? Like that's another improvement. Everything flows so well into each other. And that's something that they also carried over to like Razor's Edge too when they made that game. All your movesets for every weapon just flow so well together. And that's another thing that I think has just added itself to Ninja Gaiden's identity along with the gore and dismemberment. They're all good. The weapons are surprisingly balanced, yeah. It's just when you play the hardest difficulty, it really feels like there's a lot of moves that you can't utilize. Like a lot of the ground combos, you just get stunned too often, right? So you need to like set up with like specific moves, like forward X hold Y for the dragon sword, or like forward X or forward Y with the claws. Like moves that are really quick that dismember easily are things that are going to take you really far. And I think that's just where it's not as balanced, you know? That's one of the reasons why I do like the other ones when I do play them. But anyway, yeah, this is NG2. I mean, it's covered in bugs, but its combat elevates it to like really high levels. It's a fun ass game. Do I think it's better than the first game for me? I think we can put it here, if anything, right? No, actually, above NG04? That's really tough. Like the super long sword combos, you'll die before putting half the inputs in. Yeah, that's why I was sort of excited for dodge offset being in Ninja Gaiden 4, because I know that if they have dodge offset in NG4, I don't care about how aggressive they make the enemies, and I hope they can make them extra aggressive, because I know that I'm going to be able to finish my strings and get to the moves that I want to use. Above 04 for sure. Above NGB? Hell no! NGB is the GOAT, dude. You can't be above NGB. But I think they did extremely well for having just 2 years dev time. Or less than 2 years dev time. I mean, I think if they would have like just focused more on balancing out the encounters and making the game perfect without adding in the red dinos or making the dogs or balancing the dogs, I don't know. There's a lot of enemies that are not fun to fight in NG2. NG4 punching bags. NGB is literally inferior. Nah. NGB is the best. But yeah, so there you go. NG2. It's fun, it's got its flaws, but it's still a really good game. I think it's a solid improvement over the original in terms of content and what you can do. But it doesn't quite have the same polish as the other games above it. It is though, definitely not. Anyway, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2! Sigma 2. Let's see, where's my Sigma 2 playthrough? Am I blind? Oh yeah, there it is. I forgot, I made generic ass thumbnails for this shit. Sigma 2. Hayashi's attempt to make the game balanced. What do we think about his attempt? It made it boring. Why the fuck did you cut out all the fucking gore and the dismemberment and everything? What is this blue bullshit that's spewing out of my enemies? Obvious arguments aside, I do think that the visual upgrade to this game makes it look really good, even if the bloom is a little too overpowering. It looks extra clean. Like, it's basically like the sharp, like you stuck Ninja Gaiden 2 vanilla into the dishwasher and pulled it out, and then it's Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 now. It looks clean. But does it, like, is it the same? It's not the same. It really isn't. You can use, like, combos and moves, like the movesets you're allowed to fight now. You don't get interrupted by everything. But does that really make it just as fun? I don't know. B? Yeah, I would say that this is a solid B game. It's still passable. It's not bad. It's not a bad game at all. It's Ninja Gaiden 2. And in fact, like, a lot of people, if 2 Black didn't exist, this would be the game to play for a lot of people, because Vanilla 2 isn't available on anything. You don't want it clean? You want it covered in blood? Yeah, that's where the mod comes in. Actually makes it super fun. Yeah, and one thing they fucked up in this is that, like, they still made Warrior and Acolyte super easy, like Brain Dead, with Mentor being the only balanced game mode, but even then, if you're good at playing this game, it's super easy. But they just went fuck it with Master Ninja, and they didn't even bother to try and balance it. Every enemy just does giga fucking damage to you. I'm saying fuck after every word because this game fucking deserves it. But yeah, if you get grabbed, you die. There's nothing around it. You don't even get to see the animation of the grab play out. It just kills you. Game over screen. Game is terrible without the mod. Yeah, wall splat will kill you instantly too. I'm weird. I prefer the graphics of this game over the OG2, but the gameplay is just, it could be better. It's got the best costumes though, I will say that. This game has better costumes than OG2, 100%. And arguably, if you want to be really specific, this game actually has more content than OG2 at launch. OG2 didn't have mission mode, and it didn't have the extra costumes. You just had color palettes of Ryu. But if we're including mission mode, NG2 beats this for mission mode because it's got survival. This has Ninja Race and mission mode, but, like, I mean, let's be real. The co-op is what? The co-op is the real reason why people play this game. Co-op is super fun in this. I got to play it a little bit, but I never really got super, like, down with people who were good at the game at the time. You hate the bloom? I don't mind it. I'm used to bloom now. I think it adds a little bit of color to the game, you know, or because it makes the color bleed off of everything a little bit. Look how purple this is. But I don't know, for some reason, looking at this, it's so clear. Like, I feel like my eyes, when I play NG2 Vanilla, I feel like it's really hard for me to see what's going on. But even during this boss fight, I can actually, like, see Alexei and see his details and everything. But yeah, it's still not as good as Vanilla 2. Gets hit twice, loses 80%. This looks awful, dude. It really doesn't look that different to me than OG2. I think they're pretty comparable. Some things this game does better, some things that Vanilla 2 does better. But for the overall experience, I would say that this is lesser than NG2 Vanilla. But yeah. It's got the extra playable chapters too. You're fucking blind! This is B, but this goes at the top of B. Because it's still NG2. Top of B. But does that mean we think that it's better than the Game Boy game? Oh man. Oh man. We think that, is it better than Trilogy in the Game Boy game? Dude, all these 3D games are gonna end up being an A tier, I swear to God. Fuck, man. Game Boy game is solid though, it's a really good game. Those belong in B? I don't know, dude. I do think that Ninja Gaiden 3 NES, SNES is just the worst version of NES. Hence why it's in the A tier instead of the S tier. Because the NES games are S tier games. You know what? I will say that Game Boy is in B tier. Leave it like this then? Maybe, no, because that would mean, okay, yeah. Yeah. Dude, Sigma 2 is not a B tier game. Sigma 2 doesn't belong in A. I know a lot of people have their qualms with Sigma 2, but it did a lot of good stuff with like the co-op. It tried to fix Ninja Gaiden 2. It didn't really do it effectively. That's tough. That is really tough. I think the only thing stopping me from putting it in A is because the A is really bloated. Top of B isn't bad. No, it's not. B is the average. B is the average. We're basically calling Sigma 2 as good as Ninja Gaiden for the Master System. Which, obviously, that's not the case. Because it's right next to it. Vanilla 3 and Yaiba are coming? Yeah, they are. But those might be a little bit lower. They'll make B look better. I mean, if we're going off of that, then we have to move these two down to C. It's a version. We'll come back. We'll come back to Sigma 2. We'll come back to Sigma 2. Let's get our because that's obviously the big divisive one. Where's 2 Black at? Oh, it's right there. Top of B, you hate to sound like a fanboy, but you just don't respect the game for the changes they made, and it made an unfinished product, but great game, and still didn't finish it and added changes that made it worse. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. It's just that the thing is, it's still hard to say that Sigma 2 is a bad game, because when you compare it to Vanilla 2, it looks like a bad game, right? Because of its changes. It's not Vanilla 2. But on its own, if Vanilla 2 didn't exist, it would probably be an A tier game, I'm not gonna lie. It would probably be around where Dragon Sword is. You know? Like, if we're not looking at it through the Ninja Gaiden 2 vanilla eyeglasses, right? But we'll come back to it, because I still have to do 2 Black as well. For me, it's top of B or middle of A. It's one of the, I mean, well, middle of A, but these two. This is all fucking it up. And Sigma 2 Plus. Sigma 2 Plus puts the blood back in it. I don't know if you guys have seen footage of Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 Plus. I'm looking it up. This is Sigma 2 Plus. It's A minus. Yeah, it's A minus. This is what Sigma 2 Plus looks like. It still has the bloom too. But yeah, this game runs at sub 30 FPS. It dips a lot. But it's got all the gore and stuff back in it. Show the Giga Death fight? What, chapter 2 or chapter 3? Right here. Well, after he kills this guy. It doesn't have as much bloom and volumetric fog or your sworn enemies. I hate volumetric fog. I like the normal fog. But yeah, compressed cutscenes, everything is... Yeah, I don't know. Here's the Giga Death fight. Pretty easy. Nothing as detailed, Jesus. But yeah, that's the Vita version. It's pretty impressive that they were even able to get this game running on the system in general, actually. Considering it's a PS3 game on a handheld. It's not that bad. This game looks like shit. I mean, it does. And it also, its platinum trophy is impossible to get. You can't, there's no way to 100% this game because of its because of its mission mode. Is there a good frame rate video? Digital Foundry has one looking at this version. Is there a good frame rate video? This is, I mean, this is just how the game runs. This is actually how it runs. It doesn't run higher frame rate than this. Oh, good frame rate video as in like... Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, Xbox... Yeah, there's a PlayStation Vita. So let's see if we can find... Oh, PS Vita. Here we go. So yeah, PS Vita's giga blurry. Giga blurry. Yeah. Guys, I think we're gonna make a tier just for games in between the A and B. I think it's just because A is so bloated. But damn, look at the Vita version. Jesus. Oh, I see. I was like, why is the Vanilla 2 look so like smooth? But it's just because it's the 1X version. Yeah. The art direction is just better. Damn, look at that. Yeah, it's... I don't know why it's not using... Oh, this was before Master Collection came out, huh? Do not resist all of it. Good night, guys. Good night, Vincent! $30 FPS. This game is just ugly. There's a lot of ugly parts of NG2 in general. I think my favorite part of the game though is the last couple of chapters. Just for visuals, they look cool. Except for the egg sack tunnel. OG NG2 looks best. I think this video is not really like a good representation of what Sigma 2 looks like though, because it's using the PS3 version while OG2 is using the Xbox One X version. Where's the... Is there like a... Oh, here we go. Frame times. So yeah, 27 FPS, 29. It runs pretty slow. And then yeah, this is Vanilla 2. This looks almost better than when I was playing it just now. What the fuck? Is my gamma turned up? I think I have to change my gamma to make it look better. Yeah, and this is emulator, it looks like, almost. Yeah. I think I just have to change my video settings. And that area had a lot of bloom in it. Yeah, I think your gamma is up. He's rage baiting again. Wait, what? Me rage baiting? I do mess with video settings a lot to try and get a good look for my games. You hate bloom, you hate it. Sometimes it depends on how much is applied. If you get rid of bloom completely, then sometimes the game can look not that great. It depends on the art style and how they implemented it. It's just like motion blur, you know? A lot of games crank that shit up too high and it just doesn't look that good. That's why I always turn motion blur off, because a lot of gamers or a lot of developers don't implement it well. Ninja Cinema, yeah. But yeah, I mean, okay. Oh, whoops! What the fuck? Is there a way to change this? Add a row. Add a row above. Oh shit! That's B. Alright, this one is going to be A minus. I mean remake from living level tuning all the way to the story? Wait, what? Oh, it needs a remake? You know, honestly, I don't think... I know a lot of people want Ninja Gaiden 3 Black or whatever. I don't think that would be a good idea. I think the best that NG3 fans can hope for is that any new future game plays like NG3, even just sort of. But there would be so much work to do. They would basically have to do an entire overhaul of the way the level structure is from beginning to finish. It's like, it's releasing a new game. I'm too soft to put games in B tier. It's more like, there's a lot of confusion between, like, okay, how many games are in A tier, right? I mean, do you really not want an A minus tier? Because, okay, I'm gonna be honest, this is where I think Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 goes. I think it goes down here. Not quite as good as Vanilla 2, but it's a good game in itself. You can't say that it belongs in the same tier as the game, as the Genesis game, or the fucking arcade game and the whatever, the Mega Drive game. I still think Sigma 2 is a good Ninja Gaiden game, even if it is a neutered Ninja 2. Make a new game and remove those fucking girl sections. Ayani's like the best character in the game, though. Even changing the story, basically a new game, yeah. When am I gonna play the NG3 RE Black mod? I mean, it depends if anything substantial has changed about it. Ayani stages are good. Yeah, after that first encounter with the Van Gelf, I got used to it, and she became the easiest character in the game. Like, yeah, it felt good to play as her. But yeah, Sigma 2, we're just putting it there. Whatever. I was trying to be easy on you guys. I'm trying to compromise here. But, you know what? That's where I think it goes. Like I said, everything's in A tier. Anyway, Vanilla 3. We're moving on. Where the fuck is Vanilla 3? Team Ninja tried really fucking hard to make this game a cinematic story game akin to basically God of War, right? God of War had the story people cared about and the gameplay people cared about. They took that and they're like, well, Ninja Gaiden's got good gameplay. We can basically make a story mode action game. F-But is not on the list. Yeah, what even is the Razor's Edge Black mod? We don't know what it even changes. It's just, if it just does mechanics, then it's not enough of a change, right? But yeah, I mean, what you're seeing here is the Dragon Nympho, which you're gonna see a million fucking times over and over again. Visually, the game looks okay. It's not as good looking as the other games in the series. Its animations are god tier though. The way Ryu, the way he flows in motion is probably, like, in my opinion, the best in the series. You think it looks terrible? Yeah. I mean, visually, like, you know, we're just in a bar room with chairs and everywhere, and the color palette sucks. The colors are bad. Yeah. Yeah, as I said. But yeah, I think the animations are top. Which is cool because this carries over to Razor's Edge and, you know, eventually NG4 as well. Because he has the same moveset essentially. But yeah, I love the way Ryu's animations flow into each other in this game. Nothing's quite as snappy, but it feels just as fast. The animations are good. This game less boring on Very Hard or Master Ninja. The game is still fun to play. Visual and design is bad. I haven't tried it on the harder difficulties. From what I've heard from people that actually do play this game, it's really fucking hard on Master Ninja and Ultimate Ninja. Probably the hardest the series has to offer, according to them. But who's gonna play this game on Master Ninja? I mean, let's be real. A lot of this sucked, I'm not gonna lie. So, like, there's no shop. You can't upgrade your sword. I'm looking through the combo list right now because I want to know if there's anything, if I have any more options. You actually don't get the full moveset of the Dragon Sword until the very last chapter. Hold on, I need to drink some water because I'm fucking talking my ass off. Okay, drank my water. Anyway, yeah, just mashing and the flying swallow being instant one-hit KO was painful to watch. Yeah, it got pretty boring, I'm not gonna lie. I did, like, you just press buttons. You can button mash through this. It's normal mode. It's not even hero mode. I feel like if they would have just came out right out the gate, making the game challenging, you know, because what other purpose does hero mode serve? Is it literally there for people that don't have fingers, you know? The game's already super easy, even for people that are bad at these games. You don't know the difference in Razor's Edge Black mod? You just want to see if you test it out for you? I'm the guinea pig. But yeah, the mechanics, they're sort of there. I think you can still do Shuriken into Flying Swallow, which is a mechanic from 2. And from what I understand, this is based off of the combat system in 2. They just neutered it and made it less mechanically intense. No items is what made this game hard for you to play. Oh, you're talking about Razor's Edge? Yeah, the items, I kind of, even if NG2 is too linear for my taste, I still really like that you have items to manage, you know? It adds a little bit of a metagame, so that way you're just not mindlessly mashing through the main story. The meter system is interesting, even though it's only used for Nympho in this, but that's Razor's Edge, so we'll talk about that in a second. It's pretty boring. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty boring. The long-ass story. You don't really do much to fight the enemies. Like, Ryu, he controls the same as he ever did, but he's a little bit more on rails with how he, like, especially the Flying Swallow, you know, it's an OT basically. Is this game safe from low tier by its mission mode? Yeah, it does have mission mode. It's not an average game though, I would say. The main experience is just not good enough for it to be in B rank or B tier. It's got a mission mode, but it somehow manages to be worse in every way to Sigma 2. And that's the dinosaur. So Vanilla 3 is a C tier game. At the top of C tier, I'd say. Or wait, no. It's not C tier. This is the B tier game. This is the B tier game. Right there. Below average. You shill? Dude. It's boring and it sucks. Rage baiting list. But it's not, the worst thing that it does is be boring. He really defends this game because of mission mode, and that's why you bring it up. I mean, that is the main reason to play Ninja Gaiden 3. Even Razor's Edge, I would say it's saved by its mission mode. Because the mission mode brings back all the old enemies. Come on, see? You know what? You're right. I had way more fun playing these games than I did Ninja Gaiden 3. This game fucking it does suck. Razor's Edge is B. Razor's Edge is B. So it's good because it uses NG2 assets. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, okay, so one thing that I kind of go off of, if the game's normal mode isn't enough to capture your interest, what's going to make you want to play through Master Ninja, you know? Or like higher difficulties, or even replay it, or play its extra modes, right? Ninja Gaiden 3 doesn't have anything that stands out, that makes you want to keep playing it. Razor's Edge, however, has probably the most complex fighting system in the entire series right now. I mean, it looks like I'm just mashing buttons. But I am just mashing buttons. No, like, this game's more mechanically intense than NG2, I would say. You didn't play it at launch, right? Vanilla 3? No, I didn't. I skipped it and I played this. But NG2 enemies are not that good. You see the logic paradox? Yeah, but it only brings forward the good NG2 enemies, that's what I'm saying. Like the Vangelfs and well, it brings back Shadow Fiends too. And Alma's back, and what else? Is it just Vangelfs and Shadow Fiends? There's no other types, huh? It's only those two. Armored Vangelfs? Yeah, I know, right? It only brings back one NG2 enemy. And it brings back all the bosses, which is super sick. The bosses are cool in NG2. Everything is shit besides the combat. Gameplay is the most important factor, but it alone can't carry the game. In this case, well, I mean, you say that too, but like, NG2, right? NG2 is absolutely 100% carried by its gameplay and almost nothing else. If NG2's gameplay was shit, but everything else was still intact, then that would be absolutely a D-tier game. Once again, B is not bad. No, it's not bad, but I'd say this game is better than Sigma 2. I'm willing to play this game more than Sigma 2. You love the visuals in 2? It has such cool backgrounds. In the beginning of the game and the end of the game, but in the middle of the game, it kind of gets really bland. Like, Venice is not really cool looking. The forest is not really cool looking. At least to me, anyway. New York's okay, I guess. At fake depth, Neo Tokyo alone is better than anything in 3. Yeah. You like Venice? Venice is top tier? Really? I just feel like the color palette was just like really samey. New York is also top tier. NG2's visuals and presentation are top tier. I don't know, for me, the gameplay matters the most out of everything. And that's what I'm rating these games mostly on. But, I mean, I guess I'm going overall, like, it is my bias, right? Story's forgettable, but it is enough for an action background. Yeah. Man, Man, it really does. This game really does throw just as many enemies, huh? Like, I mean, unless you're like, you're trying to move forward in NG2 and spawning everything at once. This is basically the average NG2 encounter. NG2 music is disappointing compared to 1, but it's still good. I'm not saying put it in D tier. Once again, B is not bad. B is fine, but A is too high. Why is A too high for this game, though? What's the reasoning? Just because of the visuals and the story? It basically has the, well, let's see. When this game came out, it had a multiplayer mode and the co-op, right? This game sucks. Enemy design is shit too? Really? I think enemy design's pretty good in this. I love how they fight you. The only enemies I don't like are the chimeras. That's it. But even those are kind of fun sometimes. The story mode is not that fun to play through. No, and a lot of it has to do with just the way that the encounters are set up with the arenas and stuff. There's not a whole lot of dynamic shit you can do with the malls and things. That's like half? Really? You got soldiers and ninja soldiers. And alchemists and chimeras. I mean, the alchemists are cool. And the soldiers are not too bad either. And Valgels are super cancer in this game. Yeah, dodge offset would have been pretty cool if you had that in this game for the Vangel specifically. I mean, I don't know if you can really say anything about the enemy design in this game versus the enemy design in 2, because you got things like Gajas. You got fucking dogs. Well, dogs are in this game too, actually. You also have the red dinos. What other things? I'm having a hard time remembering NG2 enemies in general. The best things in NG2 are the mages. They're the best. And some of the ninjas. You'll chill for the alchemist? Yeah. Multiplayer was fun. Yeah, I played a bit of multiplayer. Dodges are jank, but tail lash aside, you like them? I just think they feel really awful to hit. Like, they're not really satisfying to cut down. That's mostly a sound design thing, though, I think. It also feels like that they're really tanky. And red dinos show up once in the main game. What about the worms and the zombies? Well, I guess I can't fault the zombies. The zombies are fine. But the worms, though. And the birds. And the big bats. Razor's Edge is a tier below 2. Makes sense. It can't even just be below 2. Well, are you 20-1 streamer? Are you guys sure that you guys just are biased against 3 because of what its legacy is? This game's not that bad. Do you feel like Game Boy and Trilogy are fucking up the tiers? Yeah, I think sometimes I'm looking at that and it's like they might be fucking up the tiers a little bit. I think we might have to move those down. You just consider B higher than I do? B is the average. Like, it's the playable average, right? So if we're doing it like that, then that's more appropriate then, right? So this is the playable average. Like, it's a good game still here. Oven, what's up? This game isn't good, but it is good. That's the thing. It's got the best mechanics. It feels, to me, it feels the most fun to play, to do moves and combos and stuff like that. And enemies, like, yeah, enemies can suck because they have really, like, evasive defensive properties. But, like this guy, for example, these enemies suck. But that's kind of like what NG is about, right? NG is about having enemies that do kind of suck to fight. Not in a bad way, but like as in I have to sit down and actually learn how to fight this enemy. What did we win? We won the world. Game is held up by its combat, but you can't stand the levels and the bosses sometimes. There you go. Yeah, the bosses suck in this game. That's a real like critique. I hate the bosses in this game too. You don't like Steel on Bone? I also don't like Steel on Bone. So yeah, bad bosses. Let's see. A couple of bad enemy designs. But it mostly carries a lot of the same enemies from 2. Or like some of the good ones, right? High B. The mechanics are as deep as a glass of water. Dude, this has deeper mechanics than NG2 by a mile. A lot of the mechanics in NG2 boil down to I'm gonna flying swallow this guy midair. You got forced walking sections? That's right, you do have forced walking sections. You do have forced walking sections. and the little girl and murder. I mean, that's the meme. Didn't they get rid of literally all of them in RE? They got rid of most of them, but there's still some there. Let's see if we can find any actually. They turned the walking sections into this shit right here, where Ryu's holding his arm, which is better, but it's like then it's just Steel on Bone, the video game here. Last Spawn alone should make it lose a tier. Last boss is pretty shit, but like we said, the bosses are shit in this. There's no getting around that. So yeah, if we're taking main game into consideration, yeah, this would be like probably B tier, being held up by it's a B tier, almost A tier. So it's either top of B tier or end of A tier. You can't have that final boss in A tier. Kind of cathartic, and you get giga money. You like the Steel on Bone Arena bullshit? Yeah, it just plays different than the rest of it. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm a huge fan of the way Razor's Edge plays. I'm not super good at it, but I see the potential with like all the different things that you can do. Cicada Surge. I still like that you still have Shuriken into Flying Swallow. It's good. I like that Flying Swallow isn't as good as it is in 2, and that you do have to open up enemies to fight them, and that enemies do feel threatening in this game. That's the other thing. That's super important in these games for me. This chapter's boss is so bad. Yeah, you just hit the fucking pus modules until she dies. You fail to understand this game's sympathizers? I mean, it's really deep if you want to dig into a straight up like only combat game. There's a lot of stuff that there's a lot of stuff to learn and to be good at. And its challenges, it's probably got the toughest, most bullshit mission mode in the franchise. You do a wind path and try to guillotine throw, and they dodge it. Yeah. What do you mean for this game? It's literally not, though. Okay, well, what game has deeper combat, then? You can't say NG2, because NG2 literally... like... You hate that so much? Can't you do a guillotine throw if they're bloodied, though? Isn't that like... Aren't they opened up to throws once they are bloody? You don't know the game is giga fun in mission mode, and especially co-op? Yeah. The cool boss fight. Wow. Deeper doesn't mean harder? Yeah, it doesn't mean harder. Depth is not everything? No, but it matters if the depth is fun, right? And here it is pretty fun. Like, again, the thing to understand is that the reason why I'm not super fanatically like, you know, excited about NG2 all the time is because I see it as a simple game. And in a lot of ways it kind of is. But it's like, it's good because of that, right? But at the top level, like shit, you can do like, you know, why many button when one button do trick, you know? NGB has deeper combat than this game. You can actually punish an enemy for the aggression because in this game you get a counter, you earn your punish. They just get up. Yeah, that's true too. But yeah. I mean, you can literally go through the entire game NG2 with just the claw forward Y, or flying swallow into Izuna drop. The same logic goes for RE. You can just graveyard spin everything. That's true. But it's more mechanically intense to do that than it is to just do forward Y into OT. Even if it's not even that much. I need to know a 360 on my stick. Oh! No, it's not. I mean, you still have to avoid enemy attacks, same as in NG2. It's just that forward Y with the claws is just really broken, delimbs everything. You can just bait SOBs too, you can just avoid exploits. Yeah, true. In NG2 though, they're not really exploits. It's just the way that you have to play the game. What the fuck was the point of me counter? Scythe is something you have to act like it doesn't exist when you play RE. You like using the scythe spin tech? You like using it? I mean, I'll use the scythe sometimes, but I won't actually like commit to using the 360 attack. It's not the only move in the game. But you can't do ground combos in NG2, you know? At least not against the IS ninja. There's just too many enemies on screen. You avoid using UTs in 2 because it's not fun. So you don't bait SOBs in RE either. Yeah. But yeah, the only way you're using your grounded strings in NG2 is if you kite one enemy away from the crowd. And even then you have to hope that you don't get interrupted by a shuriken. Like, that's my main problem with, like, the combat in 2. It's still super fun. Is there a giga lame easy win to play NGB? Yeah, Izuna drop. You're not saying the combat in RE isn't good? You like it a lot? Yeah, and I'm comfortable with putting it at the top of B. I honestly think it probably is just the king of B games. Again, the combat carries it super hard. But it's surrounded by so much shit, you don't think it's higher than B? Yeah. I mean, it's funny because the way you guys feel about Razor's Edge is kind of similar to how I feel about NG2 vanilla in general. You know? It's like the combat's super fun, but it is surrounded by a lot of bullshit that you don't like. You know? So yeah. I think it's B. You say B? Yeah. Probably dual swords and Sigma. So it goes here. It's way above Vanilla 3. They did so much to fix it, but if they do a Razor, like a Ninja Gaiden 3 Black, and it's the way people want it done, they're gonna have to change the whole game. You think it has more positives in general? I mean, on account of variety, yeah, it does. NG2 has way more variety. I'll give it that. Is the variety always good? No, but I mean, it's there. And the level structure is way better than anything in Razor's Edge. I mean, I'm gonna be 100% honest. The level structure in NG2 is good. It's really fucking good. Just because there's a lot of dynamic areas you fight in, and that's like part of what makes action games good too. But yeah, Razor's Edge needs to cut with the fucking arena bullshit. Its combat is literally what it is. Does NES 3 deserve A tier? It's still one of the NES games. I still think it's pretty good. You care about main campaign more than side modes? Yeah, I generally do too, actually. But again, Razor's Edge combat is so good, like, for me, that I enjoy doing it. And the Test of Valors, I mean, okay. I'm sure you guys won't disagree with this, but between Razor's Edge and Vanilla 2, Razor's Edge is, the way they do Test of Valors is way fucking better than the way that Vanilla 2 does Test of Valors. Test of Valors in Vanilla 2 sucks ass, and sucks ass, and yeah, Test of Valors are better in RE. Way better, yeah. B tier we won. Yeah, I'll give it to you guys. Whatever, dude. Just because I put Sigma 2 in A tier. It's still NG2. But yeah, I mean, this means that it's still a good game. So why do you go back to 2 so often but not 3? Because I like to play 2. That's why 2 is up here and not down here. You know? But I look at the whole package whenever I go back to replaying games. And do I want to sit through... Okay, how long did it take me to beat Razor's Edge on Master Ninja? It was like, what, like... Bro, it was like 15 hours. Do I really want to sit through a 15-hour campaign? I mean, I almost feel that way with Ninja Gaiden 2. That shit's long as fuck. Time for Cinema Fune. How much of RE have you played? I don't know, actually. Let's see. What is my playtime on RE? Well, on the Steam version, it's 25 hours. But I have a lot more time on the PS3 version. I think I have close to 100 hours on the PS3 version. But I have the Ultimate Ninja Trophy. I just haven't played it in a long time. That's why I say I suck at it. You saw him NGB and 2 have giga more time. Oh yeah, no. I literally, with NGB, I think my hours are probably approaching the 1,000 mark almost. I have more time in NGB than I do the entire Monster Hunter franchise, and I put in over 300 hours per game into the Monster Hunter franchise, and I've been playing since Freedom Unite. 100 hours you could have put into NG2? I mean, I kind of have put that many hours in NG2. Yeah, dude. Didn't we check my hours the other day? I'm like literally at like 100 hours or something in NG2. But yeah, okay. Yaiba! We already know fucking Yaiba, dude. There's nothing I can say about this game that warrants me to be excited about it or play it. Look at this game. Does this look like Ninja Gaiden to you? It's got slow-mo, the thing that people hate, right? What the fuck? Wait, hold up. Does Farnham complain about the slow-mo in NG4? Does he hate that shit? Wait, I gotta make sure first. He's the only NG2 player that I know that has complained actively about NG4. Because this is all slow-mo here. See? Bottom of D. We get NGB is good. Yeah. I mean, it's mainly because I speedrun it. Yaiba's got some fucking weird-ass mechanics. It's got the NG enemy aggression, at least, right? But it's really far-fetched to call this a Ninja Gaiden game. Its control scheme is different. Your block doesn't really function the same. You can do a perfect parry or a perfect block to do a counterattack. Can you bring up his speedrun? You'd like to see high-level gameplay? Ooh, Farnham? The Z tier for Ninja Gaiden Z. I was engaged, but I don't think I was having fun playing this game. Especially towards the end, where I just wanted it to be over, but it was fighting me so hard. You remember liking it more a second playthrough? Yeah, I mean, it's got decent action game mechanics. It's got 3 attack buttons instead of just 2. And you can pick up weapons from enemies if you get like a parry on them and you can rip their shit off. It's not super bad. The Ryu Hayabusa fight was probably the highlight of the whole game though. The actual fight, if we can find it. Yeah, I was getting my ass beat. This is the part of the game that gets actually real, where you actually have to learn mechanics. A final boss to rival the goddess. Dude. The final boss of Yaiba was actually worse than the goddess. 100%. It was worse. But yeah, you have to learn parrying here. Yeah, that is one of the worst final bosses I've ever played in any game in my fucking life. At least with the goddess, you're not really fighting the boss, you're just fighting the ads to fill up your Nimpo bar. There's so much waiting. You don't know you like shitty action games like this, but do you think it's worth a second playthrough or arcade mode? I played arcade mode a little bit. Like, at the end of the day, do I like this game? No. But I know that there's going to be some people that really like it. It's fine. When you think of Ninja Gaiden, this isn't exactly the game that comes to mind. You know? It's like the opposite. But yeah, this shit right here, there's no way to do damage to him unless you interact with the mechanics. Whatever. You think one person likes it? Yeah, Farnham likes this game. Like, I know a lot of people complain about X game coming out in general, or like, you know, well, I don't know. That doesn't matter what people complain about. This game's not Ninja Gaiden. It's Yaiba. It's its own thing. And it's made by Inafune. You know, the guy that gave us Mega Man. But he didn't make a Mega Man tier game. He made a zombie slash an action game. Doesn't Master Ninja Ryu like it? He was here defending it. Yeah. He was defending it. He was defending it, but he was also, I think he also said it was shit at some point. I think he said some things about it that like he said that were garbage. So I think we won him over on this a little bit. But yeah, I mean, you can't even jump in this game. There are no aerial attacks. You don't have any projectiles. You have your arm attack, you have your sword attack, and you have a punching attack, I think. Mr. Ninja Ryu likes everything, yeah. He sees no problem with Sigma 2. I mean, I'm gonna be real, I don't really see a lot of problems with Sigma 2 either. I mean, I would prefer to play other versions of the game, but I still think it's pretty okay. He has his eyes unclouded by hate. He said OG2 is his favorite, I believe, though. Yeah, he does like OG2 a lot. I never see him play it, though. I never see him play OG2 that much. He's always playing the other versions, or some other game. That's fine, though. He plays like every Team Ninja game. Of course he wouldn't chill. Dude, it still looks and feels like Ninja Gaiden. I'm okay with it. But yeah, this game doesn't. So, for that, we're moving it to the D tier. It's not as bad as Vanilla 3. Or it is, it's worse than Vanilla 3. Because it's not Ninja Gaiden. I'm just kidding, it's right around the same thing. It's only here because it has its own, it stands on its own as an action game, but it's not a Ninja Gaiden game. That doesn't mean that it's awful garbage, whatever. You can play it as long as you're not expecting to play a Ninja Gaiden game. Master Collection! Do we really need to rate Master Collection? It's just every game that we've already rated. Whatever. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black! Brothers! Does it stand on its own as an action game, though? Yeah, it does. It would be higher if this wasn't a Ninja Gaiden tier list. It just has some questionable design, like, things. Obs needs to add a doa. What is this? What is this? What does that look like? I need to look this. What do you think? What do you think I'm gonna do? Huh? What do you think I'm gonna do, huh? Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. I'm not gonna lie. This game is fucking sick. It is super sick. Wait. You like it more than Sigma 2? Yeah, I like it more than Sigma 2 as well. The balancing's way better in this game. This is 100% the most balanced version of Ninja Gaiden 2. It's still not the same game though. But they somehow managed to make it more enjoyable. And then the later chapters, it just, like, everything gets, after this point, it gets crazy. And I love the extra enemies. At least until you get this, at least until you get to the staircase. That's messed up there. Yeah. I mean, even the next chapter is pretty messed up. It's not as many explosions, but the enemy density is pretty high. But I love the second half of this game. Giga graphics, you usually don't like remastered games, but it's a nice update. Yeah, I agree. I agree. A lot of people say that it doesn't match the original art style, and that's fine. It can be its own thing. I still think it looks really good. I think this game looks better than Sigma 2. And in a lot of points, I really dig the lighting in this game more than OG2. My only problem with that though is that it's hard to see sometimes. Like right here, everything's so dark. Like how you even know what Ryu's doing? That's it. But yeah, I love the way that the enemies just drop down from the sky when you're fighting them in the staircase. I love how you still got the piles of bodies. And dude, I think they did a good job on this. The worst thing that this game does is remain unpolished. And that's just an update away. Like, what the fuck, Team Ninja? Please update this game. Fix the problems. And then it'll be fine. Add survival, please. Especially when you fight the rock. Oh, you like it when you fight the water dragon? Yeah, that area looks really nice. But yeah, I think they, like, it's so sick. And it's so bloody. Almost even more bloody than the original. But yeah, that's cool. You would have kept this game with the white mod, let you skip girl chapters, and it didn't run that bad on your system, but it would have been better. This game is kind of hard to ride, kind of hard to run because it's Unreal 5. But yeah, I can't really say much about it. I mean, it's just basically, it's Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, but the delim rates are higher to balance out. They added enemies in some areas. The blood and gore is back in. Obviously, there's a visual overhaul using a different engine. I think there's enough change here to make it stand out, right? A lot of people will complain and say it's just Sigma 2, but honestly, like, you weren't gonna win. You weren't gonna win. A lot of people would have just been upset and say, like, you know, they didn't add the extra shit from Sigma 2. That's missing content still, you know? It's just sometimes when you looked real close, it was extremely pixelated. What's your, what kind of graphics card are you using? At least they fixed the shop. Yeah, at least they fixed the shop. It's not a bad version. It's way better than Sigma 2. And it is just kind of Sigma 2 retooled. And I mean, you could say that Sigma 2 is just Ninja Gaiden 2 retooled as well. Like they all operate off of the same bones. It's just that Ninja Gaiden 2 threw balancing out of the window and makes you fight hordes of enemies that throw like a fuck ton of like projectiles at you. 4070 Super, you can use DLSS. Did you try using DLSS? You can make it sharper. Oh, or like at least turn it somewhat down. I don't know. Not really. OG2 is almost perfect. The only thing I have to do with OG2 to make it Sigma 2 is lower the enemy count by a third, or lower the enemy count by more than half, and then make them tanky. And now you have Sigma 2. Besides the girl chapters, obviously. I didn't want DLSS, it feels like shit. DLSS feels like shit? I mean, I'm playing with DLSS here. I guess it depends on like what you're running for your whole system. But yeah, most games native look pixelated now. There's nothing really to get around that other than using some kind of upscaler. And TAA is super blurry. But yeah, it was just footage of me doing UT after UT. I think I was just really in love with how it like the UT chops the guy in half and the way the body parts flop around when you kill them. Why do you want to lower the enemy count? I was just telling you, like, that's all you gotta do to make Sigma 2. I mean, that's the only reason it's NG2 but with less enemies. But here, like, you know, it keeps the enemy count. But yeah. Oh, it's so bright! Oh, this is better, actually. This is better here. You return this shit? That's fine. But yeah, this game's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. When it comes to Sigma 2, I like the black mod more because I don't want to play through Sigma 2 again. But it's a good Ninja Gaiden game, and it's a good entry point for a lot of players, so I can't deny that it's an A-tier game still, you know? Because it's still built off of Ninja Gaiden 2. This game is the best middle ground between the two. If you want something, if you still want to play NG2, and it's like you want a more balanced experience that still feels really hard on Master Ninja, then like this game's pretty good. If you're an enthusiast and you want to play the hardest that Ninja Gaiden can be, you're either playing Vanilla 2 or you're playing UN on Razor's Edge. Sigma 2 Black is how you'll play it until a good way to play OG2 gets figured out. No, I prefer Black mod to OG2. Unfortunately. You still get the frantic combat, but there's some there are some things that change mechanically with how you deal with enemies in Sigma 2 that I prefer. If you're gay, play 2 brown, no mod. This is 2 brown, no mod. I like this game. Anyway, we're done with this. It's a good game. It sits in the A rank. Right here. Get fucked! No! NG2 community in shambles in shambles. To be fair though, I do consider it. Why do I forsake you? I think these two games stand like toe to toe. Toe to toe. I only put it in front because me personally, I like this one more. Even though I play this one a lot. Toe to toe. Yep, toe to toe. That's how I see it, dude. Vanilla's a bit better. It's a bit better if you're hardcore. If you're hardcore. Hardcore. Like NG2 fan hardcore. You know? It steps on 2 brown toe? Nope. But yeah, that's how I see it. That's how I see it. All right. I do like 2. I do like 2 vanilla. I really do. Ragebound. Yep. That, I was looking for it. Yep. Ragebound. This game just came out. This game is fucking sick, dude. It captures. I mean, it's got something from every like 2D game, right? It's got some auto scrollers, which I don't really care for, but I mean, other than that, the gameplay is super fast. They managed to nail the feeling of like the old game somewhat, you know. I don't really know what to say. Like the pacing of the game feels good. It's fast. Even the boss fights are fun. A lot of people saying that boss fights are better in this game than any other NG game. I don't agree with that, but they are really good in this game. You still haven't played Ragebound? It's really fun. Hard mode is where it's at, dude. The game feels extremely easy on normal mode, but I mean it's a modern game. And what can you expect with infinite continues? You don't have any game overs. There's no arcade mode, but hard mode does get hard. And the secret challenge with like the boss rush, that's really fun too. But yeah, my main Komori is S tier waifu. Yeah, she is literally the NG waifu for me now, aside from wait, I think she is. Yeah, I think I like her more than the others. Wait, and Kasumi counts. Kasumi counts. She's cool too. You feel like it's more of a Strider game than an NG game? It's been a while since I've played Strider. I thought the last Strider game was a 2014 one. Wasn't that more Metroidvania-ish? This one's a level structure, and you just go from point A to point B, all the way to finish line, and then you fight a boss. Obs should be the only waifu? I'm sorry, Obs. Do you understand, though? Do you understand? Is Komori cool? It's okay. But yeah, this game plays well. It's fast, it's got good mechanics. The enemies feel super fair. The only thing that I don't like about it is the hypercharge system. Like this shit right here. So there's an enemy in front, and he like, the blocking enemies will be kind of impossible to get past unless you hit the enemy that matches the color to one-shot it, right? That's the only thing that I don't like about it. Because sometimes you either have to manually hypercharge, it makes you stop momentum. That's the only thing. But other than that, like, most of the game is really polished, really good, and they just updated it today and they fixed a ton of bugs. Yeah, DOA girls have fat asses. Yeah, that's right. Komori's cool, so is Cammy and Dizzy. Yeah. Speaking of, what about Reina? Reina from Tekken's pretty cool. I added her to the fighting game, waifu tiers. It should feel it's like less methodical and more action than the original NES games. Less level designer rather than enemy. You haven't played it yourself, just seems critique from NG fans. Yeah, I mean it's not exactly like the old games, but it does have kind of its spirit a little bit, you know? You just run and slash. You can play it somewhat fast. The only things that slow it down, like I said, are the hypercharge and the auto-scroller sections. Those are the only things that kind of bring the experience down. But some of the earlier stages don't have that, and you literally just run and slash. You need a lore-accurate Cammy cosplayer in your life? Aren't there a bunch of girls that cosplay Cammy on the regular, though? Isn't that real? Still looks fun, just not NG4. Yeah, NG4 looks pretty fun. But yeah, we did the boss fight, or the boss rush at the end. Oh, whoops. We finished it pretty fast. That's what we did. Scared NG4 will have many cutscenes, not gonna lie. If it does, there's chapter challenge. That's been confirmed. It's just first playthrough is probably gonna have a lot of cutscenes. I'm more or less okay with that. It'll keep the casuals engaged, you know? It'll give them a reason to to play the game. You know, the story, the games as story enthusiasts or whatever you want to say. Oh, a true sequel to NES 3? No, it's more like Ninja Gaiden 1.5 with like added mechanics. And in that way, I think maybe it is closer to Strider. It does feel a little Strider-ish, especially how you run and slash. Maybe a little bit faster than Strider, like the original Strider. This boss is out of Blasphemous? Yeah, that boss was out of Blasphemous. It's probably the only boss I'm just kind of iffy about the design of, but it's like, it's fine. They couldn't help themselves, huh? There is a Penitent one costume in this game that makes you purple with a gray scarf, like the main character from Blasphemous. Chapter challenge is not the same? Wait, why? How is it not the same? Isn't it literally just the story? I'm confused. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game a lot. I like this game. It deserves A tier. I'm a fan of the classic games. I like the references and nods. I like the music. The OST is godlike in this game. But yeah, I think it sits comfortably above Dragon Sword. We'll put it here. Right in the middle. Right in the middle. Good ass game. Good ass game. Oh yeah, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 Plus. We just went over gameplay of that. That's here actually, because of the frame rate issues. The game doesn't run well, so it has to be like below. Better than 04? I mean, I thought for a split second, I'm like, I mean, there's no way I'm playing 04 over NGB anyway. That's a good question. Would I play Ragebound again if Ninja Gaiden 04 was the only game available? And not Black. My cat! Did Hard have a good challenge? You heard Bounce was way too good. Bounce is really good, but it's like, it's good enough challenge. It's just hard to rate 04. It really is. It really is. That's why I put it like right here. Because 04 is kind of like, it's made redundant by Ninja Gaiden Black, but it still stands up on its own because it's like, it started everything. I don't know. It's an outlier. Now, what's NG4 gonna be? It's gonna be right here. Get fucked! I'm just kidding. We're not gonna rate the Master Collection because that shit would be a D tier if we're rating it as a collection and not as not each individual game. Because they didn't even try, dude. I'm pissed. Like, look at what Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is doing. We have a whole ass menu, and like, you can select each game from within the application. You think it's better to leave it out? Yeah. But like, yeah, as a collection, yeah, there's no menu. Yeah, that shit's the worst. And what did we get in its place? Some stupid fucking art mode or art gallery mode? Dude, I have the NG2 strategy guide. It has all the artwork in it already. And the NGB one. Yeah, thanks, I guess. It's just artwork from the strategy guides. You can find that shit on Google. You know what would have been actually really cool? If we got Master Collection, it had the full menu interface. You could select the NES titles to play as well, and the arcade game, because those are in the NGB and NG Vanilla too. Online removed. Yeah, online removed. That kind of sucks. But I understand at the same time, because it's like, or maybe I don't understand, because you know those online modes are still running in Razor's Edge and Sigma 2. You can still connect to people. Removing NES and arcade is super dumb. Yeah, because it's a Master Collection. It's supposed to have every game, dude. But they should have had like art galleries to actually show off, like, you know, the real concept art for Ninja Gaiden. Some dev diaries, if those even exist. Like, I want to see, like, behind the scenes. I want to see people, like talking about, like, I want interviews. I want to know what was it like to develop Ninja Gaiden back in the early 2000s. I want to know about the, show me the in-progress build for the Dreamcast version of NG04. Show it to me. Yeah, the NG2 documentary should have been in there, too. Give me that NG2 Itagaki documentary in 4K. Yes. Yes. Put more bats over here. And then the final product, it's like not even functional. Dude, it's so funny. We see that part where it's like, put more bats in the tunnel right here. And then you play that part in the actual game, and the bats are clipping through the fucking wall, and they're like they're colliding with the ceiling structures, and they can't even make their way to you. Like, wow, so polished. Show Hitagaki and Hayashi fighting IRL. That'd be funny. I'd pay to see that. It'll look cool. Yeah, it'll look cool. But yeah, that's the dude. Did I really put this here? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Whatever. Who cares? That's my tier list, man. What do you guys think? A tier's giga bloated. We managed to get Sigma 2 into A tier because it's a good game. I don't care what anyone says. It's good. Yeah. Still love the Ghostfish story. Why they're in the game. Yeah, that's cool. That is probably one of the best things that he's ever done. Because it's true, man. What the fuck are you spending all this time developing or coding this thing, this active, like, animated thing? Oh, it's just background? Fuck you, put it in the game as an enemy. That's so sick. That's so sick. You would put 04 above 2B? Even above Ninja Gaiden 2 Vanilla? It is a weird one, huh? Razor's Edge? What's up, my Ansis? Razor's Edge is better than all those games in B tier? It really is. I was trying to argue for Razor's Edge. I was trying to say, dude, Razor's Edge is an A tier game. It's got the best combat. Yeah, but that's why it's at the top. Yeah, it is better than all these. It's ordered? Yeah, it is. Which is why 2 Black is above Vanilla 2. Hell yeah! By the way, I hope you're doing well, man. Man, what would I say? So normally people do these tier lists and stuff. They should be like, all right, everybody, if you like my content, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace! The basic YouTuber, whatever. It was 3 against 1 for RE? Yeah, it was. You should have been there early for the discussion. There was a lot of going back and forth. Yeah, we've kind of agreed on this. The only reason why I put 2 Black above Vanilla 2 is because I personally like it more. But that's just because it's just, I feel like it's just really fun to play through. And I have the worst luck with Ninja Gaiden 2 Vanilla, and I always get the game-breaking bugs where I have to reset the game. But I still acknowledge it as a really good game. In fact, I acknowledge it so much that I fucking limit myself on the items that I can use in order to piss myself off on purpose so I can talk shit about the game being stupid. But it's really not that bad. Even playing through Master Ninja, it's really not that bad. You just have to get used to it. You do that twice! I know! I know! I know! I know! Look, man. Isn't it more interesting? Isn't it more interesting that way? Bro, I fucking love the reaction, though. Like, Farnham's watching, and it's like, yeah, this motherfucker sucks, whatever, who cares? And then, like, I'm like, show him, it's like, oh yeah, I have 6 Lives of the 1,000 Gods in my inventory, and 12 Life of the Gods in my inventory. And he's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Here I am complaining about the game being too hard, and I'm not using any of the upgrade items. So sick. and then you're fighting Z2 and you're like, oh, I'm having fun with the Giga health bar. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, Farnham and Mike. Yeah, I know. But dude, fighting Zed is fun. It is fun, even if I have a small health bar. But yeah, like basically I'm like eating hits for breakfast with that giant health bar. For like an hour going back and forth. Yeah. Well, Farnham was trying to gaslight me into thinking that I can't see the difference between 30 and 60 FPS. Or I can't feel it. Not true. I spent hours testing this for stream. You're kicked out of the NG2 Discord? I know, right? I argued with someone on the Hardcore Ninjas Discord about NG4. I basically fight with everybody. Anytime I get into a discussion with anybody about Ninja Gaiden, I get into fights. I feel like if we had a Ninja Gaiden bar, you'd see me outside getting the shit kicked out of me or kicking someone's shit in, like every day, every night, just fucking wasted every single day. It's like, Ninja Gaiden 2's fucking bullshit design. It wasn't intended, I tell you. It wasn't intended. Yeah. We need a Ninja Gaiden 2 bar. Or Ninja Gaiden bar. So is the hardcore one just anti-NG4 pretty much? Yeah. Wait, what? The hardcore one? No, there's some people. Nobody, like, there's only a couple of people that I see really complaining about NG4 now, so I pretty much just, like, left it alone. It used to be a lot of people, but now it's pretty much gotten to the point where, like, anytime anybody complains about NG4, someone else asks them, why do you think that is? Like, why don't you think it's Ninja Gaiden? And then they can't really answer you. They just say it just doesn't feel like Ninja Gaiden. So there's not really any point in engaging in that kind of discussion, right? Because if you can't substantiate your claim to something or whatever, you can't really say why you think something, then, you know, where's the discussion to be had? It's basically just like, I don't like it because it looks stupid. Right? So yeah, I pretty much just left that alone. It seems like there's people that are excited for it, and there's some people that are not excited for it. You know, both are in the right for how they feel. It's just what it is. Put Razor's Peak in A rank? I tried, Master Ninja Ryu! I tried! These motherfuckers weren't having it, and they said that shit deserves B. Not even it doesn't look like Ninja Gaiden, no chance. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. NG is your favorite series, Platinum is my favorite studio, but you're not sure about that match. Yeah, I guess we'll see when we try it, right? Like, I'm hoping that it plays well. It looks cool enough. But yeah, that shit is not touching A. You said D, but you were outweighed. But yeah, B is, so yeah, for this tier list, nothing is bad except for C and D. B is where the playable good game go. A is like above average, and S is exceptional, like once in a millennium type game deal. It was rough for Cookers, but we prevailed. Yeah, for Razor's Edge. At least I got Sigma 2 in A tier. And I got 2 black above Vanilla 2. Even if it's only, well, they're like the same. I put them right next to each other because I see these two as interchangeable. Oh, the Master Collection? I put it there because it's D tier in terms of collection. Like, they could have done more to make it a better collection. All they did was port over the 3D games over to modern consoles and PC. They could have done so much more, though. They could have, because we still don't have any modern releases of the classic games in any form. We have emulators, and that's it. We don't even have, we still don't have NGB or Vanilla 2. Like those, I mean, I know that was the complaints back in the day, but we should have really had everything. We should have had everything. But that would have required them to put more money into it, and they didn't want to do that. The Master Collection just served as a way to remind everyone that Ninja Gaiden exists before they start development on this game, NG4. But yeah, D tier is like the bad games tier. Master Ninja, have you played it? You think it's due to the rights of Itagaki, Microsoft, or whatever? Yeah, it might have more to do with Microsoft than Itagaki, probably. But now that Microsoft is working on NG4, I'm hoping, please do something with the backwards compatibility and make it available for Windows. Save it so you can add 4 in November? You are right. You are 100% correct. Save. Oh shit, hold up. Okay. Yeah, who cares? There. We're back. I want to make sure nothing showed. It's unrealistic, but Vanilla Black and 2 as well should have been included. Yeah, it is unrealistic, but we'll see. What? I hope that the future... I'm coping so hard for it. Have you played what? Have you played the Game Gear version of Ninja Gaiden? That game sucked. That game was not good. I'm sorry, Ninja Gaiden Game Gear enjoyers. Where is that? This game. You play this game? It barely functions as a Ninja Gaiden. Yes, he did. It's not the best, but still better than the Mega Drive version? Wait, really? You like this one more than the Mega Drive? I thought you loved the Mega Drive version. Or am I getting that confused? No, I'm thinking Master System. Never mind it. You played all Ninja Gaiden games? Yeah, we've played all the Ninja Gaiden games now, too. Not many people can say they've been with the franchise since the beginning. This game is crazy. This game's fucking nuts. Master System is goated. Yeah, this game is crazy. Basically running after and following the bullet. Oh, well, yeah. That's my tier list. I think it's good. And yeah, Ragebound is a good-ass game. As a version has a problem when you press up and it goes diagonal. Oh, yeah. I know, I think honestly, we were a little too harsh on it because it's not a finished game. But, wait, where did we even put it? Oh yeah, it's not on here because we didn't, it's not a complete game. But yeah, it wouldn't even be in D tier, it'd be below D tier as unfinished. Same if you press down. I got bugs, like for instance, there's like a sumo wrestler boss. If you knock him off the platform in the waterfall, you get soft locked because he didn't die. That's great, alright? But I mean, that's just, yeah, it's not a finished game. Anyway, yeah, that's my tier list. It's cool, whatever. We good. Goodbye, YouTube. Bye.